pretty close. I'm just going to get it tuned up, and yeah, I'll do that without the amp on. Good morning, guys. Good morning, gang. Good morning. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Yeah, doing all right? Let's get this sort of right over here, maybe, so we can start talking guitar a little bit. Just a little quick tune-up. The B string's a little bit out there. This is another guitar I really enjoy playing because it's in tune everywhere. You know, it's just a really fun guitar to play. Yeah, good morning, Kevin. That's kind of a fun song to kind of learn. So do you see my baby? Right, you know, it's kind of not really my jam, but it's kind of a cool, got to have a cool set of changes. You know, the 1 chord and the 5 dominant, and then the 4 minor, and then the 5 dominant, and then back to the 1 minor in the key of G. And it's just a great study for using harmonic minor. So if you're interested in harmonic minor studies, that's a great place to begin, right? Let's just take a look. Let me get fired up here on my own mobile phone and see just who we have hanging out with us this morning. I was catching a friend this morning, a good friend of mine. He started a podcast. It's here on YouTube, and it's about faith. It's basically faithfulness, but he's an old school sort of military guy. And so I think he talks a little bit about his past there. I think that's the intent is to, it's called Danger Close. And he's just talking a language that everyone, it's just a really great, just sort of him direct to camera, kind of like what we're doing here, but he's really great to listen to. Skip is his name, Danger Close, Skip. Yeah, if you want to check it out, if you're into that kind of stuff, he's just getting started. So if you wanted to go over and show him a little love, that would be, I'm sure he'd appreciate that. He's a faithful man, though. All right, so we have Mark in the house. Mark's in the house, whoop, whoop. Kevin's in the house. We've got M. Fish. Michael is in the house. Good mornings. We've got the good mornings going here. Good morning, 339. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Kevin and Fish played Old Town Road again last night. It's just one of those fun Yeah, right on. I've been meaning to get into a little bit more Del McCoury myself, like the old school high lonesome sound. It's an acquired taste, but once you get bitten by that bug, wow. I wanted to welcome everybody to the morning ritual for guitar growth. This is my actual warm-up time, and you can hear in the background, this is already working for us. We've got 60 beats per minute, and that's a really important thing to remember. Every weekday morning, we start here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Saif, good morning. Are you a ship? That's a good question. That's a good question. There's a punchline in there somewhere, I'm sure of it. Shark, good morning. Bro, I have a small size guitar. Excellent. Me too. Me too. I got the 335. I've had those, but I like the size of the 339. The 339 is just, I took off the Gibson knobs. I can't turn them. I like to be able to turn them. My fingers just slip. I like to be able to roll the tone on, and do this kind of stuff, and my fingers just slip right over the top of those little, those epoxy resin buttons. So I like to use actual knobs, but it's kind of it's got quite a bit of bang for the buck. You can buy these, I don't know what you can buy them for now, but I think when I bought it, it was like 15 or 1,800 bucks or something. Maybe it was 14 or 15, but it's definitely representative of some of the best money I've actually parted with on a guitar, so it's got, it's not really expensive, but it's got Grovers on it for tuners, so the tuners are going to work well and last forever and a day. And then you've got the Nashville sort of like the Memphis electronics in it, which don't exist anymore. And then you've got your little Gibson tag in there somewhere. There you go. And it is semi-hollow, so it's got a plank sort of all the way through the center of the guitar. But I always love the semi-hollow guitars because of the response. The acoustic response is there, so you could practice without the amp if you want. Sans amp, or however you choose to say that. Tomato. Volume too loud for voice. Is it? The voice is too loud, or the guitar is too loud? Is the guitar, how about, I'm just thinking, that's probably pushing it a little too much. How about now? Is there a good, decent balance? Because as you know, I'm likely going to be talking for most of the way through this. I am going to need to find a strap here though. Because electric guitars, I play the electric guitars with, this isn't really the strap for this guitar, but it's adjustable. I play electric guitars with a strap when I'm seated because I like to play the same height when I stand. So I don't have to relearn like the mechanics of playing the guitar over and over again, right? So this is actually like where I would play it standing. It looks a little funny, but I'll tell you what, the angle of this is really important right here. Check out those pipes right here. Look at this. Watch this. My dad used to do this trick. Look at those pipes. Whoa! just funny stuff. I know you guys wanted to see that this morning, but it's got to be just the this angle, right? And I don't really want to, a lot of us play the guitar down low and we have to kind of like overextend these, and I'm not really interested in creating sort of like tendon issues, you know what I mean? But I am trying to keep this straight angle all the way from my elbow all the way to the fingertips until I have to bend them, right? And then when I bend them, one of the things we're going to be talking about today is how to keep that first finger sort of, if I'm playing in, we're going to review the caged, we're going to step a little bit deeper into the caged system today and moving between positions. We're using familiar patterns that we already know and love so well. And then how does this shape transition from one caged position to the next? And then, you know, and then back and forth. So we have a lot to cover today, a lot of ground to cover. My guitar is still too loud. Okay, how about now? Just wanted to come in and say I hope you have a great day. Hey, Diablo Loco, good morning, you crazy devil. Good morning, Ames Thought. Good morning, I see you there. All right, so let me keep adjusting the volume. Just keep giving me those nods. But the first finger is we're going to talk about this angle as a way that we keep our first finger. You know, most of the time what we do when we try to get those bar chords going, we tend to grip, you know, like we normally would grip, but I'm going to use my fretboard to, you know, if I place my first finger on the, let's say the D string, I'm going to use the fretboard to help me sort of lay my finger down and even get it sort of like negatively arched if we can. So we're going to talk about how all of these techniques and keeping these techniques the same, whether we're standing or seated while we practice, is just it's important for me, and not that I'm any you know, no model by any means, but I do know longitudinally what definitely works, and then what will help us to bridge the gap from being a bedroom guitar player to being a performance guitar player, you know, a guitar practitioner. So take it, you know, and do what you will with it. Let's go ahead and just start with the warm-ups. So I'm starting on fingers. I'm going to practice pull-offs and hammer-ons this morning too, wherever I can. So I want to work on my legato techniques. I don't know if any of you have been following legato guitar techniques, or if you listen to Tom Quayle, or you know, the origin, where all of this came from was Alan Holdsworth. But you can go ahead and get through this with your picking every string with fingers 1, 2, 3 on your picking hand, or you could use fingers 4, 3, 2, 1. So we could do that. Let's go ahead and move to fingers 2 and 3. And I think we're off, right? We're going. And you can see that the guitar, if I sit on my other angle, I'm curling my elbow in to touch my rib cage so that I can get that leverage on my index and my second and third fingers on my fret hands. But I'm just working on just simple legato phrases. The plucked tone is supposed to sound the same as the hammered or slurred tone. Good. Fingers 1 and 2, same thing. Oh yeah, the strap's where it's at, my friend. Do you ever slap like a bass guitar? Oh yeah. That slap and pop technique, I was sort of raised on that. I used to put that in my Wheaties in the morning. Who was the gymnast? What was her name? She used to be on the top of the gymnast, Mary Lou. Eating a box of those Wheaties, and then I'd pour a little bit of slap and pop technique on them. That was a pretty good solid start for the day. that technique for a while, but it's worthy. I saw Jill here too. I hope you're all having a good start for the morning. Good morning, Mark, Jill, Shark, Saif, Ames, Diablo, it is Diablo, and Jordan too. I'll call you Jordan too. All right, so let's go ahead and start with fingers 2 and 4. The strap moves around with us too, because we can actually, my fourth finger's not wanting to pull off, but it will, you watch. I've got a couple of different techniques going on with my picking hand, so I'm thinking I can use index and middle fingers, or I can alternate between thumb and index. We're thinking, just really good quality breathing patterns. And stopping other strings from ringing that don't belong to be ringing here. I'll slide also between positions with third finger and first finger. This is really giving my fret hand a workout this morning. It's a great workout just to get started. Yeah, we're there. I think fingers 1 and 4. And this hammer-on, this really is where we start to approach the late great, Mr. Alan Holdsworth. So Mr. Holdsworth's technique would have had these large scale sort of leaps in it, and there was a lot of legato formatting right here. So a lot of hammering on and pluck the string once and then pull off. Let's see how clean we can make these by just using 2 attacks per beat. So 2 notes per beat, because we're only attacking 1 time. That pull off on the high E string's a little squirrely, isn't it? Suspect. Getting better. I'm standing up on point, moving the thumb a little closer to the 4th finger behind the neck of the guitar. Let's take a quick look at where that is. So the thumb is a little closer to the pinky finger, just to balance out the power here. Good, I think we're good there on frets 2 fingers 1 and 4. So we've now completed all of the 2-finger groupings here. We've got these two, these two, these two, and then these two, we did these two. Now we're moving on to the 3-finger patterns, right? So we're using, and then these 3 and these 3, so 4 patterns. So I'm using hammer-ons the whole way. Pluck, hammer, hammer, pluck, hammer, hammer, right? So I'm thinking in terms of 4 attacks per beat again. So 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4 E and a. And if you're just pulling in, I'm Jason. This is the morning ritual for guitar growth, you know. A lot of growth going on here right now. So please play the faded song of this guitar. Good morning. Thank you, Mark. These hammer-ons and pull-ups are going to come in handy. They are going to come in really handy. So we'll start here with 1 E and a 1 Z and a 2 Z and a put no mashi. So I'm Jason. I'm your host here for the morning ritual for guitar growth. Every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you wanted to talk about CAGED, you're in luck today, because we will be continuing just directly after these warm-ups with the CAGED system and doing a deeper dive. How to break down the CAGED system. Yeah, we can have a lot of fun with it and just grow it into something that's really worthwhile. And we'll come back to that probably. We'll just keep working on fingers 1 and 2 and 4. Now we're moving on to a new grouping of 3 fingers, and this one offers some different kinds of challenges or chores. We are using no stretch here. We're using just finger 1 and 2 and 4, where they would be naturally occurring as they play in position, sort of. It sort of reminds me of sort of like a National Geographic film. We're watching fingers 1 and 2 and 3, or 1 and 2 and 4 do their work in their natural habitat, And you can just imagine it's like talking over all of the exercises that I'm doing. I talk over everything. But actually, we don't want to do that. We want to focus solely on watching these fingers in their natural habitat and focusing on the function and the form and the tone. Try fives, groups of fives. One, two, one, two. 1, 2, 1, to the CAGED system momentarily, but let's just join me with the fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll take a quick breather after we commit to 4 fingers, right? So let's just start with 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes, or not quarter notes, 4 attacks per beat, so it's 16th notes. CCR, you bet, absolutely. Hey, stale fish, good morning. What's up, playa? Glad to have you here this morning. Yeah, glad to see you, man. You're joining the ranks of the members who are here every morning. You know, they're here really seriously going after the thing. These pull-offs are a little more challenging. There's some techniques here that I need to discuss with you on the pull-offs. So we're going to take a break here. We're going to take a breather. So what happens here is I pull offs, right? I'm pulling off, so I don't pull the string off the fretboard every time, you know, like I normally would. I end up having to press up with these fingers to counter that downward pull. This finger is coming down and pulling, ripping, plucking the string basically. While that's coming down, you can see that these fingers are briefly just pushing up to keep that string. While this is pulling down, it's trying to increase the string tension and string pitch. So I'm trying to counter that, but as soon as I pull down, that up pressure is resolved to 0 immediately, instantaneously, and the same thing applies, you know, as we. So there's a little bit more technique going on in the pull-off session. So just let's keep that in mind. I'll play this right here. You know, my finger is basically my picking hand is basically just playing 1 attack per string. 1 attack per string, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. You know, we don't need any more than you plug 4 times every string. Oh man, what are you doing? Gross. Santos. Marlon. Hey, Marlon's here. Everyone say hi to Marlon. We haven't seen Mr. Grubbs for a while. Heard from him. This is great. This is like old home day. Yeah, Mr. Haas knows what's going on. We're working on pulling off, if you're just tuning in, we're working on only hammer-ons and pulling off today. Getting our slur techniques sort of up to speed, not neglecting the perishable skills. So there we go. All right. I am unstoppable. Yeah, God. All right. So let's see. We've got a couple of things here from On's King. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning. What's up, Ninja? What's up, Ninja? Please sing a song. All right. If you have the patience to stick around and remind me about that, I'd love to learn how to do that song. All right. Excellent. B Night. Is it a hollow body guitar? It is a semi-hollow body guitar. It's the old Gibson ES-339. It's sort of not, it's not a real well-known guitar, but it is certainly a very, very pleasant guitar to play. I've got to tell you, it's one of my, it's on the keepers list, The pickups in it just sound great, the burst buckers. Now these might have the 59s, they might be a different kind of PA, but they're, for the money of a guitar like this, you can't beat it, it's just a really great, and I'm not selling it because I don't have any links, unfortunately, I don't have any links to go get it. I think you can find them on Reverb, maybe on eBay if you're lucky. You get the two-knob one, and it's the Memphis electronic, so it's sort of a little bit rare to find. You can hear it's got that bite, and it's got that Gibson scale length, so it's a really positive response. It gives you all of those assurances that you need in order to kind of like really be a performance, tone-oriented guitar practitioner. So I don't know if you can hear the rain, but the rain is just going off really, it's going crazy over here. Is you guys getting any rain? All right. So let's go ahead and get into the 1, 2, 3 stretch 4. So this is the precursor to the kickstand exercise. So let's go ahead and just kind of use, we'll follow suit. We'll go ahead and use hem-rons and pull-ups, or your favorite slurs to get through the rest of this. Have you ever seen the rain? Yeah. Mistakes everywhere, but I think it's kind of fun to be able to discover where the song lives on the guitar in a fresh environment and fresh patterns everywhere we can. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. Slurs with fingers 1, 2, 3, and stretch 4. want to tighten up my rhythmic accuracy here. Mechanically, there's a lot going on that pull-off to make those pull-offs happen correctly. Just like peeling the banana, you know, it's just... I guess you can stick the whole thing in the banana, in the blender, and just skip the peeling part and just drink it all. But we're working on just developing and maintaining a system of control for our fret hands, and both our fret hands and picking hands. Through this, these, basically well-known warm-up exercises. Just a new, fresh approach with the same old thing, It's like duct taping or putting the shoe goo on your Vans to get another couple kick flips out of them, you know what I mean? So here's the, I don't know how many of you relate to that. But anyway, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, finger one, kick that back. Let's go ahead and do the kickstand exercise. Good volume, yeah. It is a 339, Matt, good call. Good eyes, good way to recognize it. It's not a very popular guitar, but it is my current favorite Gibson model, just personal favorite, for at the moment. They're still made, but this one, the studio model, the Memphis studio, is unfortunately no longer being made because they packed up the shop. They packed up the shop and moved it, so this is the last of those guitars. You could find one on the internet, but you can find new ones. They're great. They're great guitars, I would highly recommend if you get your hands on one. It won't disappoint, it's just But anyway, we're focusing on slurs today, focusing on hammer-ons and pull-offs, and how does this benefit our playing? How does this benefit our playing? Well, if you've ever heard, Alan Halsworth or Tom Quayle, this legato style of playing is really it's really kind of cool because you can move between interdimensionally, basically. You can really grab some things, linear lines out of the guitar that you wouldn't be able to grab any other way. So these are just fun things to do on the guitar. Hey Dan, good morning. Guitar volume too loud. Gotcha. Gotcha, okay. Thank you for clarification. Yeah, let me bring this a little bit closer. Let's see what proximity improvement does. Maybe that will help. I've got a ginger, turmeric, black pepper tea going this morning. Fresh sliced ginger, and it's the old anti-inflammatory medicine. It's the medicinal tea. Not medicinal in the way a lot of my friends use the word medicinal now, but I just want to get it in there and get it working. All right, we'll do another check on the volume here. it's a little spicy, man. All right, what are we doing? Are you married? That's a good question. What if I'm married? Do you think that would make me a better guitar practitioner? You think? We'll have to keep an eye on that one, Kevin. The volume knob is the volume. Oh, my volume knob just keeps creeping its way up, doesn't it? You know what it means to be a guitar player, Mark. Here we go, talking about, I think we're going to launch into it a little bit early today. You guys can do all of that stuff too, but I wanted to just sneak up on it. We didn't quite spend as much time yesterday on this, I guess we're going to call it caged, and we call it caged for a reason. So we call it caged because I see a new person, Ronald. Good morning, Ronald. On your phone call is keeping up a little with a guitar now, but it's kind of spiking. Oh, is it really? Are you talking about, are you talking about, who are you talking about? LaMontagne's Jolene. Cocaine flame in the bloodstream. Sold my cold when I hit Spokane. Bought myself a hard pack of cigarettes in the early morning rain. See these hands, they don't look like mine. Are you talking about that song? Jolene, I ain't about to go straight, and it's too late. I found myself face down in the ditch, booze in my hands, blood on my lips, and a picture of you holding a picture of me in the pocket of my blue jeans. Jolene. Yeah, that Jolene? Is that the Jolene you're talking about? Because that's where my brain goes. But the Dolly Parton version is, I have a really great tutorial on the channel from Dolly Parton doing Jolene, and it is just a banger. So if you haven't yet seen Jolene on the channel, Go search on right here at Jason Carey Guitar. Go search for Jolene. You're gonna love it. Dolly Parton's, everybody, we all should know how to play both of those versions of Jolene. But if I had to pick one, I guess I would recommend Dolly Parton's version. But that's Mr. LaMontagne is a boy from Lewiston, Maine, right? A carpenter from Lewiston, Maine. And he's from the same place that the Bourgeois Guitar Company is from, right? So we're going to put some of these pieces together for everybody and then over some time. But let's talk a little bit about let's see. I really appreciate you reaching out here and asking for one of those requests, because it's great. He's been holding out on us. The singing sounds great. Thanks, Mr. Fish. Thank you very kindly. Thank you so much. It's just one of those songs. It's just a great, great song. And I would recommend that you all learn it because it's so fun to do. It's so easy to do. Let's get back into the caged. We were talking about the C chord yesterday. Let me just kind of get back to back on track here. So we're talking about C, and we're talking about the A chords, C, A, G, E, and then D. Okay? That's all we're doing. We're talking about those C, A, G, E, D. Basically all of the open position chords except for F, because F is really a variation of the open E position, right? So we don't need to do that twice. Pardon me, let me just get this in tune real quick. There we go. Position here. This would be sort of like the top of the G position, the A or the G position, right? So these are two sort of interchangeable connected positions, right? So the A position, and we're not talking about the whole scales today. What we're talking about are just pieces, right? The pieces. The C chord, right? You know, we're moving between, you know, what is that? The Doobie Brothers? Oh, there it is. There it is. But it's, we're moving between a couple of these different shapes, right? Long train, there it is. Thank you very much. Kind of been a hot minute before we played that song, but all of those tunes are just so important to know, and we're just kind of working through our way through CAGED. So C, A, the G or the G, right, and then the E, and then the D position. So C, a lot of these are parallel, are plural, right? So we have the C here, and then we have the, you know, let's see, C, A, like the A chord. Well, where's the, what am I doing with A? I'm going to play the A here for C, and and then for the G chord, I'm going to play it here, and then for the E chord, I'm going to play it a G over here, right? And then for the E, I'm going to play this, and then for the D chord, I'm going to play C right here. But I wanted to work through a little bit, you know, like let's take a look. Let's move this C chord up one octave. So instead of 2 open and then 1, we're on 14, 12, and 13. And that will help us sort of understand a little bit more about what's going on here. Motor Booty, yeah, Motor Booty, wow. Yeah, there you go. What a great band. We've got this really nice sort of C here. Now I'm using the E. All I'm trying to do is find the chord tones, the 3, the root, and then the 5. And then only on those 3 strings am I trying to find the other notes from the C major scale. And that gives me access to a little, sort of like a little wafer, a little widget. I know where the root note is, I know where the 3, I know where the 5 is, and the 1. And these are so important to know. So I would practice this. You know, I might focus on getting my neck and melodic game together by moving between that one and the E position shape. And then I have the C, E, and then G. So those 3 notes. Before I had the E in the bass, the 3, the 5, and the 1. Now I have the 1, the 5, 3, and the 5. And then I have also, if I played it with the last 3 fingers, I have a few other notes. Slide when I'm playing. I can move between that E shape, whether I'm using my first 3 fingers on it or my last 3 fingers on it. It's really, it's all up to you. It's where you're coming from, where you're going to. It's all about the motion of the moment, I think, my friend. So it's really up to you which fingers you elect to use, right? Because I can use, I could use that first finger to stretch back to the 4, add the 4 in that, above that 3. So there's that really nice hub. It's that little nice widget or position. Now I moved from the C shape to the E, and then we can move to the G shape, which is down here, right? Or which is basically the bottom 3 of the C chord shape. All right. So what I'd like to do is start by thinking just a little bit of a groove. I'm thinking, you know, St. Thomas, you know. Let me try to get like a little sort of a Caribbean sort of groove here. 2, 3. I'm only using the 3 strings from the caged, like I'm borrowing from this caged shape, so the A position. And I'm focusing focusing on the root note, where the root note is located in each position. And right now, I'm just on fret 5 on the D, the G, and the B strings, and then that's all we're doing. But we have other notes that we can use. And we can make the most of them right here in the 5th fret or 5th position. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Jolene by John Scofield from his Grammy-winning album Country for Old Men. Oh, great, Jolene. Yeah, right. That's now you're talking about those sort of like those half steps. Mr. Scofield is really notable for doing that kind of thing. I've got to pay attention to the chords, but I'm trying to build around these. Yeah, he would definitely be using those. He'd give you a little bend in there, here and there, but really it's kind of just moving back and forth through the triadic regions of the guitar, all on one string. This caged system. Making the most of what we can out of very limited access. Off of the C chord yet, right? So that's really important stuff for me to remember, And if I wanted to make it a C major 9, I just play the G triad over the C chord. So all of those, well, we're kind of getting a little off track, and it is 8:30, and I do expect our good friend, Kevin, over the hills and far away. Hey Jim, thanks man. Thanks Kevin, have a great day. Everyone, until tomorrow, happy picking. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, M. Fish. Hope everyone has a great day. Yes, it is that time where we meet and we depart every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. And then we depart at 8:30. And I try to keep everything on time, running tight, start on time, end on time, because your time is irreplaceable and there will never be another you. So just go focus on having some fun, building up the good stuff, and build it up so much that it sort of like eradicates the bad, you know. Anyway, happy picking. Until we meet again, my guess is we'll meet again tomorrow.